All right, Smoke-A-Maniacs, welcome back. Hey, it's Sean and Justin, and listen, you guys have seen us posting about this beautiful Corojo cigars from Espanola Cigars. I hope I'm saying that right. Espanola Cigars. And listen, we have Mr. I'm going to try not to mess up the pronunciation of your name again. Anto here with us. Yes. He is the man behind, and you're also behind JM.
That's right.
Cigars as well. So we've talked about the Corojo, we've talked about the Maduro. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how the brand started? Just kind of give us the backstory.
Absolutely, Sean. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate you guys spending some time here. This is day one at PCA. We have a great origin story. My father, he started the company in 1996. He's John Marucan. He is JM.
Okay.
He had a jewelry factory in Dominican Republic. I bought him a couple of cigars in the mid-90s for his birthday. He loved them so much. He sent the sample over to the Dominican manager who manages his factory for jewelry. And he said, hey, find me something like this. And as soon as he found out that these cigars are retailing for like $15 in the States, he ordered 10,000 cigars, didn't even have a brand name, and Espanola was born.
Wow.
That was our first cigar, Espanola, Connecticut. Eventually came out the Maduro, and last year we launched our Corojo line, which was a line extension of the limited edition Year of the Dragon. That did so well for us that we didn't want to see it disappear, so we added it to the core line of cigars. The JM's brand was introduced in 2001. It was meant for the daily smoker, somebody who smoked 4 or 5 cigars a day and didn't have the budget for those premium cigars.
Right.
Again, premium wrapper, premium binder, Cuban sandwich filler. It was meant for those smokers who wanted a premium cigar at a budget price. So JM's was born. And now today we have 6 blends in the JM's, 4 Dominican, 2 Nicaraguan blends, Corojo, Sumatra, Maduro, Connecticut, and then 2 blends in the Nicaraguan, the Sumatra, and Maduro. Those come in boxes of 50, again packaged in boxes of 50 to cut costs and give the consumer a great product at a reasonable price.
Man, look there! You ought to sell cigars with that. It's a pretty good pitch. So obviously we've talked about the Corojo. So you said Sumatra. I bet that is a beautiful cigar.
Sumatra is a great cigar. It's right down the middle as far as a medium. Beautiful shiny wrapper on that as well. One of my favorites, to be honest.
And so the Aniversario.
Yes.
What is the kind of the wrapper binder filler? Can you take us through a little bit of that?
Absolutely. So this year we have 2 Aniversarios.
Okay.
We're celebrating 30 years in the industry with our Espanola line, which started in 1996.
Awesome.
So we have an Aniversario of Espanola, boxes of 10, a Maduro and a Habano, 2 sizes, Toro and a Lancero, 6x52, 7x38 Lancero.
Okay.
Also, 25 years for the JM's brand. That started in 2001. For the first time ever, we're putting the JM's or any of our cigars in a tube. We have 2 blends, a Connecticut and a Maduro, and only 1 size, our most popular size, the Churchill.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
They started playing the big brass band behind us here, and that's good because, so you guys are kind of the sponsors of the evening tonight. Correct. For the PCA over at Cuban Creations. And they're going to have some samples of the Aniversario to pass out and all that. So if you're at the PCA, you want to get over and see this gentleman and learn all about Espanola Cigars. Man, I tried not to mess that up. But I've just been a fan since I got him in and I can't brag about him enough. Justin, what do you want to?
Well,
what you got, baby?
only thing I was going to say is that a lot of times, Corojo was kind of, for us, at least for me, it was kind of hit and miss. Until I came across what you guys were doing, and then
it's all hit.
Then it's all Corojo fan. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it just didn't hit for some reason. But how you guys are doing it, and I love the fact that kind of every man smoke. You know what I'm saying? So many of these guys, and for good reason, luxury, they kind of, but yeah, it's nice to have just a blue collar smoke.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, are you a big golfer? Because apparently there's a
golf simulator over there.
Yeah, the golf simulator over there.
Yeah, we got a hole-in-one challenge. It's a $10,000 prize.
Wow.
So if you're around PCA and you're good at golf, come give it a shot. One shot can win you 10 grand.
Wow.
Going back to the Corojo, I just want to kind of explain the blend a little bit more so
Okay.
that you guys kind of understand what it is behind it. The wrapper in a Corojo tends to be peppery and spicy, but if you don't match it with a nice binder, it's overwhelming. So what we have is San Andreas Maduro binder.
Oh,
So that kind of
sign me up.
yeah.
Sign me up.
So that's where it kind of rounds out the cigar a little bit and doesn't overwhelm the wrapper. Because as you know, the wrapper is about 60 to 70% of the flavor.
Yeah.
When we put another wrapper, a premium wrapper as the binder,
That's
when it's like those two marry each other and create a nice blend.
because I'm going to tell you, after I went into one of our local shops and I said, I got to learn more about this Corojo wrapper, and I won't mention any names, but they gave me, I will say, a legacy brand Corojo wrapper cigar, and I smoked it, and I was very disappointed. It wasn't yours, and that makes sense. But
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Again.
It was kind of, some were good, some were bad. Some, we just were like, I don't know what the big deal is, and then we kind of got Espanola, and we were like, oh, okay, we get it now.
and
know?
it's hard. Like I said, it's been hard for me to find one that would stand up to yours. And I'm not saying that just because you're sitting here with me. I mean, you've seen me. I've posted it several times,
Yeah.
and I've messaged you, and I'm like, dude, I need like 6,000 boxes of these or whatever.
So real quick before we get out of here, so what can you tell us about the future of Espanola? What are you guys looking for? Maybe this year, next year? What's kind of on the horizon that you can talk about?
That's a great question. We're always looking at about a year and a half in advance. So next year is all about the puro for us. We're doing a Espanola Nicaraguan puro, wrapper binder filler from Nicaragua, and then an Espanola puro in the Dominican binder, wrapper, and filler. And we're really it's called Espanola Taino. Taino is the indigenous people of the Dominican Republic, and we're celebrating the island. Espanola, which means the island of Dominican and Haiti together. Awesome. It's time to celebrate the island. And I want to say this because it's very important. We're giving back to the people of Dominican Republic, and what I mean by that is proceeds from the sale of Espanola Taino, we're going to give back to the foundation of the Taino people and the Taino Museum in Dominican Republic.
Oh, excellent.
That is fantastic, man. That is
So any idea kind of ETA on that? I know it's hard to say.
PCA 27 release.
27. Oh, look, see?
So guys,
Also, he already knows what's going on.
Yeah, stay tuned.
And guys, I'm just kind of pan around. Look at this beautiful booth we've got here. You see people over there trying to make the hole-in-one. All these beautiful smoke-a-maniacs out here signing up to get JM and Espanola Cigars into their humidors. And you should be out here doing the same thing, especially if you're in Tulsa, so I can come buy them. So, Anton, thank you so much for making us feel so welcome.
I appreciate you.
Guys, thanks for watching. We're going to have more information on this brand and many more, and we'll be back with you here in just a little bit.